Hi, my name is Courtney Carver, and I will be presenting for you a data overview for Martin Technology Academy of Math and Science. This overview will cover 5 years of longitudinal data beginning in the 2011-2012 school year. The intended audience for this presentation includes school administrators and teachers. The purpose of this presentation is to look at our school data to identify data trends, strengths, and weaknesses to support student achievement. I will be focusing on 3 types of data: school demographics, reading achievement for both CRCT and Milestones assessments, and mathematics achievement for both CRCT and Milestones assessments. Our data team will use this data and our knowledge about our strengths and weaknesses to determine what steps we need to move forward and advise the faculty on an action plan to address student performance. Let's begin by reviewing our student demographics. This graph shows the total student enrollment at Martin Technology Academy of Math and Science for the past 5 years, starting in the 2011-2012 academic school year. As you can see, for the first 2 years, MTA has had a decrease in student enrollment. But for the past 3 years, MTA has had a consistent increase in their student enrollment. Over the past 5 years at our school, our gender population has continued to remain consistent. On average, the percentage of boys and girls are about equally split in half, with there being slightly more boys than girls each year. The ethnicity makeup of students at MTA consists mainly of Caucasian students. However, this past year we have seen a decline in the number of Caucasian students enrolled at MTA. We have also seen a steady decline in the number of African American students, while we have seen a steady increase in the number of multiracial students enrolled at MTA. The population of Latino students and Asian students has remained steady over the past 5 years. The subgroups of students at our school consist of students being served in the following areas: Early Intervention Program, English to Speakers of Other Languages, Students with Disabilities, Gifted Students, and Economically Disadvantaged Students. We have seen an overall increase in all of our subgroups over the past 5 years, with a noticeable increase just this past year in EIP, ESOL, and gifted students receiving services. Due to our percentage of economically disadvantaged students increasing above 65% last year, our school now has Title I school status and receives more funding and support from the state. In wrapping up the school's demographic data for the past 5 years, the summary is as follows. Our school's total enrollment has steadily increased the past 3 years, and there is very little or no change in the percentage of boys and girls at our school. Our Caucasian and African American populations have decreased, Latino and Asian populations have remained steady, and our multiracial population is continuing to increase. All of our subgroups are showing increases each year, with significant gains in students being served through our gifted program. We will now take a look at MTA's assessment data from the CRCT for years 2012 through 2014, and milestone data for years 2015 and 2016 in the content areas of reading and math. The grades that will be examined include grades 3, 4, and 5. CRCT data from 2011 to 2014 shows third grade reading scores showing an upward trend of the percent of students that meet the standard. This trend, coupled with the percent of students that do not meet, declining between 2011 and 2014, with a slight spike in 2013, reveal that Martin's reading achievement scores for CRCT improved from 89% meeting and exceeding to 92%. Third grade reading milestone scores from 2014-15 reveal an increase in the percent of students on the beginning level. This trend, in conjunction with a decrease in student performance on the developing and proficient categories, reveals an opportunity for improvement and focus. This milestone assessment is not comparable with the CRCT due to the writing and reading tasks and the differences in levels of achievement in subjective scores. Milestone test data for third grade math reveals a very similar trend to the third grade milestone reading scores. However, CRCT data reveals a very different story. Students overall showed a decrease in math achievement from 2011 to 2014. but 2012-2013 student achievement dropped significantly. MTA's fourth grade reading scores decreased between 2011 to 2014 from 90% to 88%. The most significant increase in achievement was during the 2012-2013 school year with 96%. Milestone data for fourth grade reading is similar to third grade reading scores, showing a decrease in overall student achievement with only a slight increase in the proficient learners category. Fourth grade math CRCT data is similar to fourth grade reading achievement scores, with the best achievement seen during the 2012-2013 school year. Milestone achievement data reveals an increase in student performance. There are fewer beginning learners and more developing, proficient, and distinguished learners. The biggest area of improvement is in the proficient level with a 26% increase. Moving on to fifth grade reading, fifth grade reading CRCT data illustrates an increase in student achievement from 2011 to 2014 with only a slight decrease in the 2012-2013 school year. Fifth grade milestone data reveals a decrease in overall student performance, with a slight exception of a 3% increase in the distinguished category. And finally, CRCT data for fifth grade math reveals huge gains in student achievement in the 2012-2013 school year compared to the previous year. 2013-14 shows a drop in student performance by 2%. Milestone scores for fifth grade math show distinguished learners are flat with no change. Proficient learners decreased by 12%. Developing learners increased along with beginning learners. This means that proficient learners dropped 1 or 2 performance levels, thus causing an increase in percentages in those lower levels. In wrapping up the school's reading and math achievement data for the past 5 years, the summary is as follows. Our school's achievement scores have proven to be inconsistent. This could be due to multiple factors, including, but not limited to, the change in assessment type from CRCT to milestones, the change in test administration from pencil and paper to online administration, and the change in standards being taught from Georgia Performance Standards to Common Core Standards. When looking at the top 2 levels of achievement on the milestones assessment, proficient and distinguished learners, fifth grade math decreased by 12%, fifth grade reading decreased by 4%, third grade math decreased by 6%, and third grade reading decreased by 3%. Fourth grade showed no change in their student achievement on the reading milestones assessment from year 1 to year 2 of administration, and showed a huge increase of 28% on their math milestones student achievement from year 1 to year 2. Based on the overview of this data, MTA will begin to focus on fifth grade math milestones data, since that is our area with the largest decrease in overall student achievement scores. As we narrow down our focus to the 2015-2016 fifth grade math milestones end of grade achievement data, we see here that MTA students have a higher percentage of students in the beginning and developing performance levels than both Hall County and the state of Georgia. When looking at the proficient and distinguished performance levels, MTA students perform lower than both the county and the state. This data reinforces our need to take a closer look at math student achievement data at MTA. When looking at fifth grade MTA students' master category achievement on the math milestones end of grade assessment for 2015-2016, 3 domains show up as areas of weakness for students due to the number of students in the remediate category. Numbers and operations in base 10, numbers and operations with fractions, and geometry. Within these 3 categories, it is interesting to note that numbers and operations both also show the highest number of students in the accelerate category, while geometry has the overall lowest number of students in the accelerate category. Let's have a slight discussion about our strengths and weaknesses at MTA. MTA's 3rd and 4th grade students have shown an increase in proficient learners on the math milestones end of grade assessment from year 1 to year 2 of the assessment implementation. What strategies are working for these students that can be shared with other teachers? 5th grade math milestones end of grade data shows a high number of students in the Accelerate Master category for both of the numbers and operations domains. What is causing this increase, and how can this be replicated to other domain areas? Some weaknesses that we are seeing at MTA include: 5th grade math students have shown to have low achievement on the geometry domain of the Mathematics Milestones End of Grade Assessment. What strategies can we implement to better support these students with the mastery of these standards? MTA's 5th grade students perform lower in both the Proficient Learner and Distinguished Learner categories than both the county and the state on the 2016 Mathematics Milestones End of Grade Assessment. What can we learn from other educators in the county and state to help support our students and increase the number of students that MTA has in these categories? These are some of the questions we need to reflect upon in order to increase our student achievement at MTA. Thank you so much for your time and attentiveness. In moving forward, I propose that the data team meets to gather data by standards, starting with 5th grade geometry standards. This can include both formative and summative assessments from the classroom. We want to look for strengths and weaknesses in instruction. Let's interpret the data together so we can work to improve our student achievement.